Yes, hello everyone. This is Ashmita from Saurabh Sir's classes. Now, as you can see on the screen, we are going to solve the GATE 2023 question paper, and I have chosen some questions from this year's papers, and I'm going to solve them in separate videos. So here we are going to focus on question number 23, 24, 26, and a few of them more. So let's start with this logical reasoning section question, that is 5 segments of a sentence are given below. Okay, so this one is hopefully English question, not logical reasoning. The first and the fifth segments are at their correct positions, while the middle three segments, that is which is represented by 3, 2, 2, 3 and 4 are jumbled up. So we need to choose the correct order of the segments so that they form a coherent sentence. Okay, so hopefully you all understood, like over here the first and the last options are correct, and the middle three options, those require like interchange, those require to be interchanged. So let's go through the sentences. The first one says, consumed multitudes are jostling and shoving inside me, and guided only by the memory of a large white bed sheet with a roughly circular hole, some 7 inches in diameter, cut into the center. Okay, so it's just not going, you all can follow that. Clutching at the dream of that wholly mutilated square of linen, which is my talisman, my open sesame, I must commence the business of remaking my life from the point at which it really began. So once again, these are not placed logically, so we have to place it correctly. And the last line says, some 32 years before anything as obvious, as present as my clock-ridden, crime-stained birth. Now, if I reorder the sentence, it would be like, I must commence the business of remaking my life from the point at which it really began. So, I'm starting it with this one. And after that, I'm continuing it with, yes, I can include this one now, that is after 4 I am going to 2, and guided only by the memory of a large white bed sheet with a roughly circular hole some 7 inches in diameter cut into the center. So I just went with the option 4, 2, yes, and then I'm going to go with the 3 one because it's already mentioned in the options given below. So let's go to number 3. Clutching at the dream of that wholly mutilated square of linen, which is my talisman, my open sesame. Okay, so this is the correct order. So go with 4, 2 and 3. That is C is your correct answer option. Let's move over to the next question, which is also based on English hopefully. I told you the truth, I say yet again. Memory is truth because memory has its own special kind. It selects, eliminates, alters, exaggerates, minimizes, glorifies, and vilifies also. But in the end, it creates its own reality. It's heterogeneous but usually coherent versions of events, and no sane human being ever trusts someone else's version more than his own. So whatever kind of memories you are getting, you won't trust someone else's memories, right? You're only going to trust your own memories. So that is what the paragraph is trying to say. So what are the different ways in which truth can be understood from the passage? That is what the question is asking you all. What are the different ways in which truth can be understood from the passage? Okay, so let's go through the options. The first option says, truth is what can be verified by hard empirical evidence. Hopefully this is just not going actually. So let's move over to option B. Truth is based on what can be perceived by the senses. So no, not really. It's not going in that way. Anyway, let's check option C, that is truth is the product of memory that is fallible, selective and slanted. So this one, this might go. Let's read the last option also. Truth is contingent on the observer and can only be partial. Uh, let's discuss option C once in details. Yes, first option C we will be discussing, that is truth is the product of memory that is fallible, selective and slanted. Now, according to this passage that we have just read, this passage, explicitly mentions that memory has its own special kind of truth, right? Which involves selecting, then like whatever is written over here, it involves selecting, eliminating, then altering, then exaggerating, then minimizing, then glorifying, then vilifying, everything. Okay, so memory creates its own reality, and it also creates its own versions of the events which may not always align with the objective reality. Okay, now let's move over to option D, that is truth is contingent on the observer and can only be partial. So if I go with this one, uh, according to option D, now this passage suggests that no sane or no proper or normal human being trusts someone else's version of events, right? That is what I have told while reading the paragraph, more than their own. So you will only believe your own dreams, your own vision of everything. You are not going to believe someone else's dreams, or you are not going to believe, or you are not going to follow someone else's memories or flashbacks or anything else. So this implies that truth is subjective and it is dependent on the observer's perspective. Okay. So it is subjective, like it differs from person to person. And over here, each person has his own version of events, okay, leading to different interpretations and partial truths. So we can finally decide that correct among the correct options, we might choose option C and option D. So I would go with both option C and option D. Okay. Now let's move over to the next question. This says select the odd word and write the number as option number as answer. The options include lake, zloty, diner, drachma, real. 5 options are given, and the odd word over here is actually diner. Okay. Why? Because all the other words in the list, whatever the other words, whatever other words are mentioned over here, they are actually the names of currencies. Like they are currency names. But diner refers to a type of restaurant or a person who dines. So that is a completely different from the options, from the other options that are given over here. So let's go with diner. Diner means kind of restaurant, type of restaurant, and others are currencies. Next question, who published the novel The Bell Jar under the pseudonym Victoria Lucas? Now the options include Dorothy Richardson, Virginia Woolf, Sylvia Plath and Alice Walker. Now over here your answer would be Sylvia Plath. Okay. Let's move over to the next question. It says, in which collection did Walt Whitman's poem Song of Myself first appear? In which collection did it appear first? Leaves of Grass would be your correct answer. Okay. To review, let's know these are just not correct. So go with option D. Okay. Let's move over to the next question. Who wrote the introduction to Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali? Now your answer would be W.B. Yeats. Okay, William Butler Yeats would be your correct answer. Next question. Identify the title of the poem in which the following lines appear. He was found by the Bureau of Statistics to be one against whom there was no official complaint, and all the reports on his conduct agree that, in the modern sense of an old-fashioned word, he was a saint, for in everything he did he served the greater community. Okay. Title of the poem we have to identify, isn't it? It would be the unknown citizen. That is your correct answer. Now a little about the lines that have been given over here. That is, he was found by the Bureau of Statistics. This line, till community. Now these lines reflect the theme of conformity and the dehumanization of the individuals in a bureaucratic society. This is what is being happening right now in our society. The poem, the poem satirically portrays the idea of an ideal citizen, as we call them, who follows all the societal norms and regulations, but at the same time also loses their individuality and humanity, like we all are doing it, right? Sometimes by following all the rules of the society, we might forget our own self. We might forget the individuality of our own self. So that is what the lines in this question are trying to explain. Let's move over to the next question that says, identify the point of view used in the following passage. You are not the kind of guy who would be at a place like this at this time of the morning, but here you are, and you cannot say that the terrain is entirely unfamiliar, though the details are fuzzy. So over here you have to find the point of view. Here the point of view would be the first person point of view, of course, because here in this passage, whatever lines are given, it is written from the perspective of the narrator. As you all can understand that you are not the kind of guy who would be at a place like this at this time of the morning. So like this, you all can understand it's the perspective of the narrator who is addressing the reader directly by using the word you. Okay, you are not the kind of guy. So this indicates that the narrator is speaking from his from their own personal experience and observations. So yeah, first person point of view. Next question. It says, which of the following is a novel by Charles Dickens? Among the options given, the correct option is The Old Curiosity Shop. Okay. Next question. Which linguistic process can be seen in the formation of the following words? Linguistic process. They have given smog, they have given branch, they have given motel, they have given telecast. Okay. So which linguistic process can be seen in the formation of these following words? Okay, so over here, the linguistic process that is being followed is blending. Okay, go with the option C, that is blending. Now, what is blending? Blending is that process of combining two or more words through which we can create a new word with a different meaning. Okay, that is what the word blending means. And in this case, the first word, that is smoke, which is given, is a blend of smoke and fog. So I'm writing it down. It's a blend of smoke and fog. Secondly, brunch is a blend of breakfast and lunch. You all can understand that quite easily. Now you all can break it. Breakfast plus lunch. Okay. What about motel? Motel means motor plus hotel. Okay. Motor plus hotel. And what about telecast? Telecast is a blend of television. I'm writing TV and broadcast. Okay. TV and broadcast. Alright. So the correct option is C. That is blending. Okay. Two more questions we will discuss for today's class. That is question 34. Which writer is credited with the chutneyfication of Indian English? The quite a funny word, I must say, chutneyfication. Now, you all might have heard about the word chutney. Means it's a sweet dish that is prepared through caramelized sugar, water, and whatever fruits you want to give. That's a dessert. It's a chutney. Okay. So chutneyfication means mixture, basically. So who is credited for mixing up of the Indian English language? It is none other than Salman Rushdie. Okay, Salman Rushdie. Now, Salman Rushdie is mostly known for his use of hybrid language. And also he is known for his blending of Indian and English elements in his writing. So this has been described, this element mixing, blending has been described as chutneyfication of Indian English. Now his novel Midnight's Children, a very very famous novel, Midnight's Children, it's a prominent example of this kind of style. Midnight's Children, I'm writing it down. Next question. Whom would you associate the term simulacra with? Uh, Now, simulacra should be associated with Jean Baud Jean Baudrillard. Okay, Jean Baudrillard is a French philosopher. All right, Jean Baudrillard is a French philosopher, and he is also a He was also a sociologist, and he is known for his work on postmodernism and for the concept of simulacra. He is famous. In his book, The Simulacra and Simulation, if you ever get to read this book, Simulacra and Simulation, Baudrillard explores the idea of the hyper real concept, okay, where simulations and copies replace the original reality. Thus, you can say blurring the boundaries between representation and reality. That is what his work is all about. Okay. So, yeah, this much is for today's class. I would be ending the class over here. If you have any kind of questions, you can post down your questions in the comment box, or you can call us at the contact details that would be given in the description box below. You can join us for any kind of course preparation, any kind of entrance exam preparation. You can go for doubt clearing sessions. You can go for live lectures. You can also get recorded lectures portal access 24/7. For that, you just need to contact us and enroll with us. And yes, if you want to give mock tests also, you can contact us and prepare yourselves for the best. So that's it for today's class. Let's meet once again in our next classes.